Right, I'm carrying on from the last video. Right, in the street I showed Sue, who lived at St Saviour's and was a friend of Bill's, the crystal stuck to my face. I then passed it to her, and it stuck to part of her jaw where she had a painful tooth. She confirmed that it took the pain from the tooth. I had suspected as much. I gave the crystal to her as a gift to ease the pain of her tooth. I heard no more of it. Bill gave to Dawn Swinco, a friend of his, a dowser I had developed. I was a bit nervous when he did. I hoped she wouldn't work out she could hurt people with it. We had a strange conversation later, whereby I said, "You can take the credit for it. Dawn always threatened me a lot, and I thought she'd ease up on me if I let her show off with it. She could then claim to be a sexy, mysterious pagan secret witch, and blokes would fancy her. Irrelevant that one's so important to the pagans. I found in my position the practice of magic much connected to my personal bad luck and pain, and there was a lot of that already in my life. I suspected the mental illness connection. I explained where I understood mental illness first developed. I explained that in another book. I suspected magic had been connected to pain here for as long as 300 years. The mentally ill have been stigmatized, tormented, and killed off. Also, I suspect the deal in Camelot itself, before its fall and destruction, destroying magic itself, and cursing the magical people. This in exchange for self-interest. There was a bad guy in a betrayal. I strongly suspect this deal. 300 years later, white magic is damaged, but dark and black magic is fixable. The psychics and medium come from a scientific background. They demonstrate their success on TV. Magic works a lot with the pattern of life, and since the 60s, the pagan movement itself has not confused the pattern itself. It doesn't know whether it's coming or going. Many show an interest in Chinese medicine, Oriental mysticism. Is this magic? No, it's something a bit different. Magic is still used and mastered in Africa as African voodoo. It is a European version of magic that is much mixed up and damaged in modern-day Europe. Right. This is quite hard to read. Is that supposed to go to another one? Somehow I mixed up the numbers, but that probably explains something. Yeah, that makes sense. I mixed up the numbers. Alright, 13, that would be number 30. 13 is an unlucky number. I'm talking about a psychopath. I knew somebody developed a psychopath when I knew him, so it would be 13. Magic doesn't accept coincidence lightly. Therefore, it links up to the pattern whenever it sees something like 13. We're talking about somebody developed into a psychopath. Number 13, link. Right. My first instincts were when Sam was developing into what is now called a psychopath, which was once called a necromancer. This phenomenon this is in my other books, has to do with the biosystem and the Gaia matrix. Magic does have a strong connection to nature. It is where it gathers its forces. It's what the pagans picked up on. Sex, the sexiness of women, the force of life. I've written a book called The Force of Life. Conception in the womb, in the soul, and the magic of that. A magical person qualifies here, at the first level, as a witch or warlock. When Bill chased Sam off, I realised that Bill had innervein thrombosis. He was in a lot of pain with it in his legs. I used an oil, I still have. I'll mark the oil and leave it with the stones. I did the treatment several times. I rubbed the oil on his legs and placed the lava stones on his... Be careful here. 14. On his legs. They stuck to the legs, and I worked out the points the veins inside the legs were most damaged. The stones also relieved the pain. He relaxed for a few minutes. Then I told him to gently move his legs until the stones fell off. A few treatments and the problem passed. The practice of magic first started when I stuck coins to my head. I showed Maggie my CPN list and she made no comment. Bill couldn't do pot. It made him go crazy. I placed a large stone on his head. I knew how destructive this deal was to me. But I loved him. He'd be able to take drugs again, and I knew this would be painful and destructive to us. In exchange for this, the dark side would fix his brain. So, it's quite difficult to read when it's like this. 12, 10, 13, 14, 15. Right, so I think I was yeah. I sense the dark forces greedily agree. The pattern would fix his brain. It was a destructive time. Bill used to relax with a stone on his head and a joint. It was a big stone, and it stuck to his forehead and enhanced the pleasure of the drug. Well, it was a bad time, and I almost lost him to the temptation of heroin. That would have killed him at his age. We almost lost our relationship, came close to catching AIDS. A year later, Bill lost interest in drugs. He cut his long hair. His mental illness was now close to imperceptible. After 20 years, and his brain and abilities were in good nick. We'd pull through. What was helping a lot was Bill's hippie background, his Romany ways. It's very difficult to read this, but numbers. Connections and half Romany blood. Oh dear, we were both cursed. I with mental illness, Bill with half-blood. What will lift a curse? Enough love will cancel a curse, whereby the curse will only encourage despair and hatred, and victimise you with bad luck. It is the challenge of the curse, that you can muster enough love to overcome this, and bring enough love to you. To love you back. The dark forces recalled over the hills of Hamilton. There was enough love, I called triumphantly after its departing tale, and I closed the window on what would be a happy home full of love. It is first best to disconnect the eras and types of magic. The ancient Egyptians, from what I gather, there was magicians that used drugs. Now on to 7, so we shall go to the next video.